All right, guys. So can we start the session? Am I audible to all of you? Is the voice loud and clear? Can you just confirm me? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, guys, any questions from the last sessions? All going good? Great. Okay. So no tension, nothing. And I'm expecting that you're improving day by day in your communication skill, in your leadership skill, the way you convey things. It's not about whether you actually improved or not, but the way you convey things have improved or not. Or you understood the demand of the interview board. That's more important. Okay. So we will be waiting for some more participants to join. We'll wait for 5 minutes, and meantime, I can unmute some of you. You can discuss and you can ask the questions, or if you want to say something, you can discuss that also, your opinions. Okay, so let me stop recording just for 5 minutes, and I'll unmute one by one. Yes, Raya will do that. Okay, so let's continue today's discussion, guys. So we are going to talk about the body language in interview, the posture, sitting posture, and the non-verbal communications. So it's essential to understand that they are not only looking for your verbal communication, what you say, they are also looking at the actions and the body language. Okay, so that's what we'll be discussing today, and we'll be discussing something that often goes unnoticed, but it's very incredibly important, right? So that's what your body language, your non-verbal communication, that's very important. When I speak and what all things I do, like I do certain things like this is very unprofessional. So we will be discussing all those things which you can do in the process of interview, and how to avoid the things which you should not do, and what all things you need to do. There are expressions that you need to show also, to show that you're confident, and to show that you have a leadership skill. So there are situations where you need to show some expressions that also we'll be discussing. So guys, again, let me tell you, your answers are very crucial. You need to answer it. That I'm talking about the verbal answer, how you present yourself and communicate non-verbally. That is even more important. That that add that big difference. Okay, so sometimes most of the candidates give similar answers, similar approach. They have been taught by mentors. This is what you need to convey to the board. These are the qualities that you're looking for. So when you get this kind of questions, this is the approach, like the way I am trying to give. So even my students and all of you are following the same approach, right? So verbal answer, if you look at it, could be somewhat similar, but non-verbal, that shows more confident. That shows your attitude. Okay, so that's equally important, and that can make a bigger difference. Okay, and seeing that the panels can understand you are who you are. Okay, see, guys, again, confident body language shows that you're composed, you're professional, and ready to handle the responsibilities of a civil servant. So I told you that you are trying to convey certain things to the board that they are actually looking for as a civil servant from you. One of the quality that you're looking for is actually confidence. Always your dressing style. Anyway, you will be not having any problem with the dressing style. Your posture, that gives you the confidence. Your body language shows them how calm you are, how composed you are. Are you struggling? Are you afraid of? Or, your confidence, your professionalism, and your ability to handle the situation, your ability to handle the responsibilities, your ability to, take a leadership role, and everything can be understood from the body language. The way you sit, the way you talk, the way you address them, that itself will convey everything. And that's why I told you, you always imagine every day before you sleep, you always imagine that you're going to the room, you are wishing them, they're wishing you back, they're asking you to sit, you are getting questions from them, you're answering with confidence, and you're coming out, with accomplishment. Always imagine this. Then your body language will be best. And with mock interviews also, you'll be having a lot of experience and you will be doing best. Otherwise, it will be difficult. So always what we need is confident body language. I'll tell you how we can get that. See, in my interviews also, uh, over the interviews, I've realized mock interviews and the real interviews, how body language is just as important as verbal communication. And if you can master that, if you can show that you're confident, not only through your words, but also through your body language, the way you sit, the way you talk, how confident you are, they can easily understand. Okay, and that will enhance your overall performance. See, guys, there are many other teachers also who deliver the same lecture. Yes or no? Have you seen the difference between the body language that I have and the body language that the other teachers have, especially when it comes to this lecture or for that matter, any lecture? The kind of confidence that I have that actually, transferred to you. Yes or no? So that's the impact of your body language. Okay. So let's move on to the discussion and let's go with the next slide. Right. So I repeat, the body language play a vital role when it comes to UPSC interview because that's a reflection of your confidence. That's a reflection of your professionalism. That's a reflection of your engagement with the board. That's a reflection of your leadership skill. That the reflection of your, calmness. So that's why I'm stressing on this. So multiple sessions we are taking on multiple aspects, and it's like threading all these to give a better version of yourself during the actual interview. So take each and every session and the inputs from each and every session, though it look small aspect, but this is going to make big change. That's why I'm taking 1 day, one concept, 1 day concept. So you work upon that. You won't feel that if I give everything at a stretch, I can give one lecture, 4 hours. I can cover everything in one PPT itself. I don't want to elaborate this much also. It's not there to discuss this much. But why? I want to make you understand each of these. I want you to implement each of these 1 day, 1 day like that. And we are threading it to make you a better person that they are looking for. Okay. So you see, again, I repeat, the panel is not just listening to what you say. They're also observing how you say. Remember, I told you there is a psychologist who's also sitting there. It's not about psychologist. Anyone who have basic common sense can understand from your body language, are you confident? Psychologists may have a different role, but anyone, so forget about the board, right? So now, why body language matters. So let's discuss one by one. Let's go theoretically slightly so that you will understand. See, guys, let's start with posture. What we need, sitting upright. Okay, in any situation, your back should be straight and you will be sitting upright with a open posture that shows confidence and attentiveness. Okay, so I'll show you like this. So this is how you'll be sitting in front of the board. Okay, with the confidence, sit upright. And you see, some people will cross arms like this and all that. That makes you appear defensive or disinterested. That's not to be done. So always sit upright. See, look at, this is the natural posture of mine. Okay, so this is how I sit. This is how I stand also. So the moment when this may not be the body language of many of you. See, for me, the advantage is if you see this area itself, that makes me upright. If I stand like this, anyone will even understand that person is very confident. There is obviously there is no second thought about confidence and the strength. Okay, so again, when it comes to the next one, gestures. You see, again, when we use natural hand gestures, that can help you to emphasize key points. Have you seen when I am discussing things with you? I'm not just discussing the PowerPoint, right? I'm moving my hands, I'm moving my face, I'm moving my eyes, and with that only, even though this is an online lecture, you're actually getting engaged with me. So this actually, you know, help you to emphasize key point, keep them engaged. Okay, and but again, over gesturing can be distracting. That should not be there. So controlled, purposeful gestures reflect the confidence, convey messages, shows that you're confident, make them engaged. So these gestures, even what I'm showing now, these are, controlled gestures, will make you engaged, will show that I'm confident and all those. But if I make this kind of gestures, this gesture, no, we can't do that. We should not do that. Okay. Again, facial expression. See, guys, a calm, friendly expression conveys that you're comfortable and engaged. You remember in the last session, I've told you in one of my mock interview, the board, the member mock interview, in the mock interview, it was told, and then I changed also. You see, normally by nature, I'm aggressive. My body itself is a reflection of that. And my preference was IPS. So he looked into the preference, and finally in the feedback, he told me that your body language is good. Only thing is that you look aggressive in normal look. But if you can make a small smile, that make a big difference. So a person like me, if I can give a small smiling face, that can make a big difference. So that is another gesture, right? So that's the point. Facial expression matters a lot, and that shows that you're comfortable and that shows you're engaged. If you otherwise, if you're simply going and sitting, that shows that you're defensive or you're aggressive. Sometimes there might be some changes that you need to make in your body language. See, some people normally they go sit. Many of you might be just like the way right now I'm very normal. I'm sitting in front of you, but it looks slightly aggression in the face. And with this, if I'm talking, then again that aggressiveness will be more. But some other person, this is the normal version of them. This is a normal version of me. I need to understand my issue, right? This is actually an issue. But for them, you see, many people, when they just come and sit in front of you, very pleasant. You feel even very happy to see that person. But that's not the feeling that you get when you come and sit in front of me. Right? You won't get that pleasant feeling. So what I need to do, I need to give you that feeling. For that, I need to have a small smile in my face. Otherwise, you're not getting that, you will have a communication gap with me. If I am very normal, I don't have anything in my mind, and I'm sitting in front of you, still there is a communication gap. But there are people who just come like the way I came, sitting in front of you very normally, but there is a pleasant face, and you will easily get connected with that person, but you can never get connected with me. Now I need to understand that, and I need to work upon that. I need to make my facial expression in such a way that you can connect with me. So I wear a smile, artificial smile. It is not coming naturally from my side. Okay. So that's what I mean by the facial expression. And avoid frowning, looking down, or showing visible signs of nervousness. Never show that. That's not required. You will never be nervous. If you can, trust me, guys, if you can sit 5 sessions in front of me, you're going to sit in front of anyone. If you can survive 5 sessions with me, you're going to survive anyone. Okay, so eye contact. Very important. Maintaining eye contact during the interview is very crucial, not only to the one who's asking the question, but to everyone. The one person who's asking the question is not only representing him, he is representing the entire five. So your answer should not be to only one person who asked the question. There's a common mistake that everyone make. You got a question and you answer to the person who asked the question. That's not how it is. It's a discussion, and you need to get engaged with each one of that. So that question, you gave an answer, you look at each of them. Sometimes you make a smile also, and the follow-up question can come from the other side only, the other person only. So if you're not looking at them and answering to the only one person, then you're not getting engaged. Sometimes that could be the question that can lead, your entire interview. Okay, so you might be missing on that. Especially when you are very, very good at something. And if you got an opportunity to talk about that, talk to everyone. So any one member will pick from that again. Remember this always, especially if you get a question where you feel that is your strong area, try to engage with, you give it to everyone. So someone will, pick from that. Okay, it's like fishing. You're trying to give it, and your aim is to take back. So give that bite to everyone. One will get. Okay. So be sure that you make a proper balance with the eye contact. And too much of eye contact also will be intimidating, which means you look at one person, give too much of eye contact to that person. That is intimidating. That is not good also. So again, too little also is very less. You cannot simply, the question was asked by that person. Just for the namesake, you turned here, you turned here. And again, that is also not good. So make a balance. And see, sometimes what will happen is consciously you try to make an eye contact just because your mentor told you to do or the mock interview told you to do. But again, you go down. It happens. So avoid this. That shows nervousness. That proves that you are nervous, that you can't handle the situation. Guys, if you cannot handle a simple interview despite getting this much of sessions and the mock interviews, what's the point in they selecting you for handling a district? Understand that just 5%, 5 members, you cannot convince them and you cannot handle them. How you're going to do it? Think from their perspective also, why they should select you. You should be in a position to handle these 5 old old man, right? So if you can't handle them, how you're handling a society or a village or a district? Think from their perspective. How can they select you, man? How they can select you if you can't handle this 5 old man? And easy to manipulate these old people, though they will claim that they have experience. Their experience is your age and all those things. Not that way. Okay. So again, in my first interview, when I faced the first interview, I was very focused on, what I was going to say, because everything was scripted and everything was planned. But I didn't pay much attention to my body language. Sometimes you are very clear about what I need to say and everything, but sometimes you get, distracted. That may be evident in your body language, but just because I've very well practiced with my tones and everything, I was able to do good. But I really understood that when it comes to my body language, I was slightly distracted. At one point of time, one member asked also, "Are you comfortable? Do you want to take some water?" So when they're asking that, what does that mean? They understood that some discomfort is there for you. That's why they're asking that. If you are not feeling comfortable, if you wish to take some water, you can take that. Okay, so see again, I felt this in the mock interviews also, and I got the feedback in the mock interviews also, and then I tried to improve upon that. And I realized that simple things like posture, eye contact, that makes a big difference. I've seen the videos also. They have given the video recording also. Now it is very common. That time it is very less you get. So, and I watched that, and I understood if I can make some simple eye contact, if I can manage that, the answer is going to be more effective, and it can communicate more. If see verbally what you're saying, if you can make an eye contact, that guys, your look ultimately matters when you're saying something. What I am discussing, do you think whatever I've discussed just before, the way I communicated to you, how confidently I told you that you can manipulate these old people, and if someone else is saying whom you believe, or whom you will follow, the way I told is an entirely different way. The eye contact that I have made, the expressions that I have made, that is different. And I can convince that it can be done. Okay. So now who are saying that all people, they can judge you, they have, your age as their experience and other things. All people only, right? Who told you? It's all people. They have to tell that because that's their existence and survival. Anyway, see, again, it's not just about delivering the right answers, and it's also about presenting yourself as very calm, confident, and professional. So that's what I also understood over a period of time, over the mock interviews, with interaction between, the panel members that have come across, mock interviews, and the mentors that have come across, and the aspirants, again, my colleagues and, my batchmates. Okay. So this we have already discussed. Proper posture. So your posture during the interview is one of the first thing that the panel will notice. You come, the way you walk is important. Okay. may come in, you'll be asking, and then the way you walk, that we need to manage. It should be practiced. Walk in front of the mirror, practice, because few steps only, hardly 10 steps you need to take. Practice that with confidence. That also need to be programmed. You come there, you wait for their command, or they will tell you to sit. They'll not make you uncomfortable. Okay, and the moment you sit, sit straight. Sit straight, sit with confidence, show that professionalism, show that confidence. Okay, so sit upright with your back against the chair. Now, guys, I'm slightly. This is for my comfort when I'm discussing the session. But in my interview, that should not be the case. Sit upright. Okay, your shoulders like this. Okay, upright, back, straight. Shoulder should be like this. So there is no chance that you will lean in front or you will be relaxed towards the back. No, sit upright properly. Your back against the chair completely, and this shows that you are confident and alert. Okay, and professional. Avoid slouching, avoid bending in front, getting more relaxed, and all this you need to avoid, as it can make you appear uninterested or unprofessional. Don't take it casually. It's very simple and easy to sit straight. And you see which will be attractive when I'm taking the session, when I take this, stay like this and delivering, or when I relax like this and delivering, or when I discuss like this, or when I sit like this. See the words, the way which is coming out is also changing, right? So when I sit like this, the voice is more slightly sharp. That convey the message. Okay, and that conveys the confidence part also. So that's easy. That's something which you need to do. Okay, so again, feet firmly on the ground. Okay, properly. So keep your feet firmly on the ground and avoid crossing your legs. Don't do that. Okay, and don't shake your legs. Never ever. So sometimes there are many guys. I want to repeat this. There are many people who forget sometimes that they are in front of the interview board, and sometimes under pressure they keep shaking their legs automatically, naturally. But what will happen is you know that you're thinking that the board is not watching that. The board is not watching that. The board is a point in watching under your legs, but automatically that reflect in this part also. Upper body will automatically get shaken, and your voice also will be based on that. So never ever. So strict straight, back on the chair, upright, feet firmly on the foot, on the ground, so that such kind of move should not be there. Okay, such kind of move should not be there. Hands in natural position on your thighs. So you keep your hands on your thighs. Okay, and place your hands naturally on the lap or the arms of the chair. Either you can keep it like this on the chair, or keep it on your lap. Okay, avoid unnecessary movement of the hands. When you're answering the question, sometimes you may have to move like this. That's okay. And it's not always necessary that you need to keep it like this form. There are situations where I need to move my hands, that if you need to convey certain things, that you can do, that is good sign. And if you always keep it like this also, that is a kind of nervousness. Okay, so if you need to use hand gestures to emphasize a point, do naturally and moderation, in a kind of moderation, not too much. It should be natural. See, when I'm delivering these lectures, whatever I'm doing is natural and controlled also. Okay, see, in one of my mock interviews, I received a feedback that I tended to lean forward when I go to engage in a conversation. Normally, I sit straight, and everybody now, every one of you will definitely go sit straight, because this is what you need to do. But what happens is, when you start answering the question, you may start leaning in front to a member or like that. When you turn the side, automatically that can happen. But avoid that, because it made you look tense. This is what exactly the member told me. You are leaning in front, and that makes that shows that your initial confidence is gone. When you're sitting up straight, upright, straight, the confidence is different. The voice is so sharp. The delivery is an entirely different way altogether. But when you lean in front, you're getting slightly defensive. Okay, so again, I worked on keeping my posture relaxed always and sitting back comfortably in my chair. I practiced it. And keeping a hand like this on the table, on the chair handles or like this, that will actually help you in that way. Okay, so make these small adjustments and it can make a noticeable difference, in how you perceive. And it can help you in appearing in a more composed and confident manner during the actual interview. That's what actually happened with me. That's what I'm discussing. I'm not talking anything from the books. I'm talking each and every point from my experience, whatever I have come across, whatever feedback I got, and how I could improve upon that, and how it helped me to score very good in the interview. It's not just one interview scored good, that's luck. Two interview, that can be two times luck. Three interview, that's not luck. Okay, so that's because of constant practice and knowing the game. Right, okay, now next, moving on to eye contact. See guys, again, eye contact is the most important aspect in non-verbal communication. The look can be sharp, it can convey message confidently. So when I take session in front of you, to you, that people who have more knowledge than me, I'm delivering the lecture, but still you're convinced and you're sitting and you're listening to me, not only because what the content I'm giving, or not because of the PowerPoint. You might have seen this is delivered by many people. Many will be talking about this, but the voice is so sharp, the eye contact that I'm making and the gestures that I'm showing, that made you to sit and listen to this. Otherwise, the content wise, I don't think much difference is there. In fact, I might not have the better content also, but still, the way I speak and what exactly I want to convey to you, this confidence. This confidence is what I want to convey to you. But this confidence, do you think that if you have this confidence, it's not overconfidence. If you have this confidence, and if you can implement that in front of the board, you're done. Because someone who made interview 3 times and did it well in 3 times is what are teaching you this. Okay. So again, eye contact shows that the panel that you're confident and you're honest and fully engaged in the conversation. So eye contact is very important, but there is a balance to be maintained. I told you, cannot be too much to one person. It is intimidating. At the same time, it cannot be too low. That is like showing nervousness. You want to make enough eye contact to show the confidence, but not so much that it feels uncomfortable. Here is, the methods which you can see. What you can do is engage with each panel member. So that means you can make a balance. Everyone get engaged with everyone. So when answering a question, start by making eye contact with the panel member who asked the question, but also shift your contact to other members occasionally. You can move in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, depends on situation outside, this like that. Okay, so this ensures that you're engaging with the entire panel and not just one person. And avoid staring. You may not be, but it looks like that maybe. Okay, so while it's very important to make eye contact, avoid staring for too long at one person, as it can make the interaction uncomfortable. It is intimidating. And find a natural rhythm, keep rotating, and where you make eye contact, then briefly look away before returning to the conversation. So that's something which you need to do. Now be mindful of your comfort level. If you feel nervous, try to focus on maintaining calm and natural eye contact. See, eye contact can be natural, it can be artificially created to convey certain message. Even to some member who's showing more interest, sometimes you can look at them more also. So all these you need to practice in your mock interview so that it becomes second nature during the real interview. Okay. See, again, I'll talk from my example in one of my interview. I noticed that when I made consistent eye contact with the panel members, it helped me to build rapport with them. And I got repeated questions from them. And they seemed more engaged with my answers. And I felt more connected to the conversation. And when the actual turn of that interviewer came, he actually asked me very comfortable questions where I can explore and express myself more. Because ultimately, the questions that they ask is what allowing us to convey who you are, right? If you get good questions, it is very easy for you. Otherwise, if you get a bad question, we need to make it good. We need to work upon that. But imagine if you get a good question from the member. So when sometimes this is what happened actually, this real thing, what happened, one member, I don't know, it is because of that engagement that I had through the eye contact, made a rapport with him actually. And when it comes to his tone, he actually asked me a very good question. Like he want me to clear the interview. He want me to answer this because he understood that I can work upon that and I can answer on that. It happened. Okay, and that boosted the confidence as maintaining eye contact helped me feel, more control in the different situations. So very important. Now coming to the facial expressions. Smile genuinely, as I told you. In my case, it won't come automatically. I won't smile actually. I won't smile. I'm not a person. I don't know, by nature, I'm very aggressive. You can see the voice is sharp and uh, naturally it won't come from you. Otherwise, I have to keep a smile, artificial smile. That's what I realized actually from the mock interview. They told me, even when you're happily answering the question, you look aggressive. So wear a smile. Okay, that's very important. There may be people who are blessed with a pleasant face. Pleasant face doesn't mean that handsome or beautiful or anything. The way the others perceive you, the way others perceive me from the first look is not as a pleasant person. So I need to change. Okay, so see guys, facial expression and gestures can add a lot to the communication during the interview. So we need to have very good facial expression as well, like eye contact. A calm, confident expression helps to set the tone for a positive interaction. So calm, positive expression means, confident expression means have a pleasant smile always. While gestures can actually help you to emphasize, the key points along with what you verbally say. Okay, now what you can do, first thing, smile genuinely, a genuine smile at the beginning in the interview, and always keep maintaining that. When you greet the panel, when you open the door, when you ask the board, may I come, and then give a smile, give a proper eye contact. Okay, and it can help to create a friendly and open atmosphere. So smiling during appropriate moments in the conversation actually shows that you're comfortable and approachable. Okay, and always avoid negative expression. Always negative expression should not be there. Be mindful of your facial expressions when answering difficult questions. Avoid fawning, raising your eyebrows. Okay, so sometimes, see, in my case, even a small, you know, if I'm very less angry, even if I'm very less angry, it shows to the opposite person I'm very angry, I'm very aggressive. Because some small thing happened to my eyebrows that makes it a different message to be conveyed altogether. So never become, discomfortable. Because sometimes you might be 1% discomfortable, but the other person may think that it's 100% because of certain attributes that you already have. So we don't want to, come across that kind of situation. So avoid frowning, raising your eyebrows, showing frustration. All these need to be avoided because you don't know to what degree it is perceived by others. That's very important. So even if you encounter a challenging question, maintaining a calm and neutral expression, always with a small, genuine smile. Again, use always natural gestures. Don't try to create it. Gestures can be, can help you emphasize key points. When we have the discussion, I can tell like this, but I cannot do that during the interview. Okay. So, they should be natural and it should not be overdone. Avoid excessive hand movements always, which can distract the panel from your answers. And use gestures sparingly to add emphasis when it is required. When you want to emphasize certain points, you can do that. And in my mock interviews, so one of the mock interview, I realized that I had a habit of raising my eyebrows just before I told you, right? When I was thinking about a difficult question, and which made me to look a bit nervous. Actually, the board told me that I look nervous. But what happens is another board, with respect to the same, told me that you look very angry and very aggressive. See if something happens to your eyebrows. So be very careful about that. Even if you feel some discomfort about a question, if you try to show that in your face, then the board will perceive it as 100 times than what you have. If you are discomfortable 1%, they feel it as 100% discomfortable. If you're angry 1%, they feel it as 100% you're angry. So avoid such kind of facial expressions. And when two boards communicated the same thing, one board communicated it as a nervousness, but because they can see some kind of difference which is coming in the face. The other board clearly communicated it as anger. Actually, it is seen as anger. When something happens, some discomfort, it will be reflected as anger, aggressive face. Okay, and I worked upon this on maintaining more neutral face expression. That means try to be neutral without showing anything on the face except a smiling face. And it made a big difference in how I actually presented in the real interview. If I would not have, because see, someone have to tell you this, you don't know. When two people are saying about the same thing, one though saying nervous, you looks nervous when your eyebrows are, changing. The other person clearly told that's very like angry face. Angry young man, he told. Hey, angry young, that's how he addressed actually. Okay. So it's also actually helped me to feel more controlled, during my real interview, and where I made sure to smile when appropriate and whenever is appropriate, and use gestures naturally. So my point is use gestures naturally, avoid over expressions, always smile, always try not to show any small discomfort also on your face, because you may think, or naturally you may be very less discomfortable and naturally it come, but that may be perceived as much more by the others, and you don't know that because they are seeing you for the first time. They don't know how it is normal, natural, or 1%. They take it as like you're so much uncomfortable, and you are so much uncomfortable as a person to handle the situation also. Okay, so now moving on to the next one. Guys, I know, sorry, the font is very small, but I'll share the PDF and everything. Don't worry. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'll try to work upon that. The person who's preparing it actually, yeah, now I can actually see that now. Okay. See, again, when I started preparation for the interview, I was so focused on what I was doing and what I'm going to say. Okay, and everything that, initially I didn't pay much attention to body language, because if you see from my perspective, my side at that point of time, I'm very sure and confident about my body language. Okay, so I didn't pay much attention. What is there to, when you're reading the books of interview guidance, you'll see that sit upright. Yes, what's the problem in that? But now you understood, right? What all things I have discussed, it's not only about sitting upright or just giving a smile. There are many things. Have you otherwise would have thought about this? This is what I also did. I was very clear about what to tell, what not to tell, how to structure and everything. But I was able to improve after each interview, after each mock interview. But even in the beginning also, we are sure almost what to say, what not to say and everything. But regarding body language, we read about it, but there are many other things which you will miss. You won't understand. Naturally happen, right? So from where you'll get that? From mock interviews. They will tell you need to focus on your knowledge level is good, your presentation is good, but there are areas which you need to work upon: the communication, the facial expressions, the eye contact, the hand movements, or leaning forward, or relaxing too much. Are you sitting with your cousins, or are you sitting in a casino? Right? So to one of my friend, actually, this question was asked. It seems like you are sitting in front of a casino, in a casino and playing. Okay, see, all these can be realized after a few mock interviews. It's common that you may make mistakes and that you will take as an opportunity also. And I realized that these non-verbal communication and the cues, which play a big role in how I perceived, or I'm actually perceived by the panel. Okay, so very important, guys. See this, who else can tell me that I look very nervous even if I have some discomfort, or I look very angry even if I have some discomfort? I don't know how. I cannot look at mirror and I cannot understand that. Someone who see me in the real situation have to explain that. Yes or no? So what I want you to do, work on your posture. Okay, take your videos, sit in front of mirror. Now the mirror story and everything is over. You can use a camera phone and then take a video. Make sure you sit upright and maintain eye contact with the panel. Okay, imagine there is a panel, and also practice using natural gestures and smiling during appropriate moments to appear more approachable. Appropriate moment means when you enter, pass a smile. When you're sitting without getting a question, when you're looking at the board, smile. Okay, so these small adjustments can make huge difference in your overall presentation. And by the time in my case, when I faced actual interview, actual UPSC panel, I feel more confident. So same way, you will also get the same confidence. And guys, you have me here to take care of everything, to understand things. And the one-to-one sessions, these privileges are not there for everyone. Okay, so the panel seems to be more engaged with my answers because of all these things that I've done, and that's why I was able to do good. And I felt more controlled in the conversation. Okay, so non-verbal communication is not just something that you can overlook. It can make big impact on your performance. So always work upon that. Always work upon that. We are discussing one by one, and I'm giving you information one by one where you need to improve upon. So can we conclude now before we go on to the assignment and the Q&A? So guys, what I want to tell you is non-verbal communication plays a crucial role for UPSC interview. How you present yourself through body language, how you sit, how confident you are, okay, and your eye contact, your facial expressions. I can make you comfortable with one look. I can make you completely discomfortable with another look of mine in seconds. Okay, so, and the way I speak also. That's how it is for everyone. And your gestures, all these can greatly influence the impression that you can make in front of the panel. So be very careful, practice this, and by maintaining a confident posture, making a natural eye contact, not too much intimidating, okay, and using appropriate facial expression and gestures, you will enhance your overall performance. Because verbal communication, you have done well, you will be doing well, and this also we need to work upon and show the panel that you're ready to take on the responsibilities of a civil servant. So make sure to practice these non-verbal communication in your mock interviews so that you feel comfortable and confident during the actual interview. Guys, so what all things we discussed so far? I think 13 lectures. So whatever lectures we have completed, practice it. Verbal side also, non-verbal side also, eye contact part, sitting part, entry part, facial expression part, gestures, hand movements, thought process, the way you answer, everything. Keep practicing every day. Okay, and make a situation where you're actually attending interview every moment. Think about that. So I told you it's something which is manipulated, but for that we need practice. If you already have it, you don't want to sit here. You can simply go attend the interview and give the interview, score 210 mark, no issue. But you're here that you don't have that, and you need to show that you have. So you need to know what all things that they are looking for. And we are here to manipulate your personality in front of the board so that you're going to score good. So we need practice for that. If you naturally have, you don't want practice, you can simply go, it's done. But here we need practice, continuous practice, that you are showing a different version of yourself that you are not actually are. If you are, don't sit here. You are the best. Go there, please. Leave my session. Right. Okay. So that's it, guys. And we'll take a 5-minute break and then I'll come back. We'll have the discussion on Q&A. Okay, take 5-minute break, guys, and then we can come back. We can have Q&A. We can have the assignment discussion. We can have role play also. Okay, so what could be the assignment for tomorrow? Yes, that is one. Let it complete, guys. 1 minute. focus on the same what we discussed. Practice mirror exercises that we discussed, and then your posture, work on your posture, your eye contact, gestures. Okay. And as of now, you adjust things based on your self-perception. We can improve upon that after your mains result. That's enough, right? There is no point in, we spending the one-to-one session from here onwards. Mains result is over. We have enough time. So we get that actual numbers. And in case of something happens in mains, you'll go back to your prelims and other preparation. And next year we come back for this. So that time only you need to do. At this point, you don't want to. As of now, you just do this practice by spending 30 minutes. That's enough. Okay, so let's take a break for 5 minutes, guys, and then I'll be back. We can have Q&A, we can have the role play, and the discussion on assignment also.